Good morning. It's February the 14th, so therefore it is Valentine's Day, and I have my red jacket on to celebrate Valentine's Day today. Well, it comes around every year, and yesterday I happened to be fairly late in the day visiting my local Safeway store, and I had all these things presented for Valentine's and people scurrying in and out. And it was quite late. I was surprised how many people were actually there. Then I went, oh, right. Then people coming home from work or whatever, picking up stuff to make sure they have their things for Valentine's Day. And I have a couple of texts that have come in with wishing me well on Valentine's Day, which is great. Okay, let's talk about love because that's what it's about. I wrote down some titles that I think about Valentine and love. There's romantic love, there's friendly love, and then, of course, as I wrote in the description, Valentine is based on a saint that died, would you believe, to 270 AD. And the name, he was a Christian martyr in Rome, and the name means strong. But then when I looked at the dictionary on my phone, love, strong feeling of warm personal attachment or deep affection, such as a parent, child, friend, etc. That was the first one. Second one was profoundly tender, passionate affection with sexual desire for another person. Sometimes sexual desire to me doesn't always mean lovingness, but anyway, that's another story. And number three, they basically repeat the same thing. Number four, active, self-giving concern for the well-being of others. I definitely think that is one of the paramount ones. And number five was a person towards whom love is felt, a beloved person and sweetheart. To me, they had set five different things, and the second one I felt didn't really quite fit. So I just had that written out, so I'm going to put that aside now. And let's talk about what comes up in the tarot for me when I was thinking about, to me, there's only one symbol that talks about love really strongly is the Empress. Empress shows the loving vibration, and it has the Venus because it relates to I've got to get in the right place. It relates to the planet Venus, which is the love planet, as people see it. And there's love. Everything around here is the flower. Boy, I'm really out of sync here. Flowers on her dress make little Venus signs. The cushion behind her has a Venus sign. She is sitting on top of ripe wheat, which is abundance. Everything in this talks about, oh yeah, and there's water too. The water down here shows it is fed. It is continuously fed. She's got the stars in her heaven. She holds the moon. Everything is good. But let's talk about communication for a minute, because love is great, the feeling, but then you have to communicate that. And so a lot of people will get flowers today or candies and things like that, which is all very, very good and very, very workable. So when we talk about communication, the major communication card that I feel is the Two of Cups. I'm just trying to figure out how to work this. And the Two of Cups, you have a male and a female, and then you have unity above. And they're in communication. It is balanced. One thing about communication, often when we have communication with others, it is not in balance. It does not balance out. And then as I was looking through this morning at the different ones, I've always liked this particular little card here. I don't want my face totally to be out of the picture here because I'm with me talking. Anyway, I think we've got it here. This is kind of memory. A lot to do is this is the past, and they're sharing again the cup. It's shared with the pic. They've got the lilies of pure thought in there, and that's all about communication. Oh, that is long and old lovingness and old deal. Memories too. I mean, often when that shows up, it has to do with the past, guarded memories that we have. We guard them. We take care. But the main thing is love from the Empress. So here we are in a day where there is a lot of loving, and a lot of people don't have necessarily someone to love them for various reasons. I don't think you can live life and just have some people. And actually, I do know people that have met and they've lived a long life together and absolutely been enamored with each other forever. Unfortunately, that wasn't written for me, but it certainly had some interesting things happen in relation to my relationships and lovingness. The first one I do want to, I think I will talk to you a bit about, and that is when I met my first husband, the father of my children. I was in New Zealand. I was an 18-year-old, and I went to a party. Now, you have to understand the background of this. My mother did not like anything to do with alcohol. And so here I am getting older, and anyway, some friends asked us to this party, which my mother did not want me to go because she knew there was going to be drink there. So not that I drank at all in those days at all. And so my girlfriend and I, we went to this party. Anyway, this person comes in the door, and I look at this person as they walk in the door, and I think, that's the man I'm going to marry. I had no idea he was a Canadian at that point. And so, anyway, to make a long story short, we did. I came to Canada. We were married, and we were together for 24 years, sometimes a bit rocky in the latter years. But we had two great children. And so it was, and I began learning, studying, not only got my great, because I had to go to work at 15, if you haven't heard that story before. And, because my father said so, and he was the boss. And so I was able to educate myself, and even went through high school and college, all at night school. And then also began my metaphysical journey. And that has served me very, very well over the years. So, what do we love? When we think about it, what do we really love? What do we care about? How do we feel? Oh, I forgot the most important thing. One of the things I found really important is that we must love ourselves. And love has a lot to do with respect, with honoring, with appreciation, all of those words, all of those things that go in. And consequently, we often forget ourselves. And if you were raised like me, where you didn't really have too much personal power, it's to be able to take that and make yourself aware in your personal power so that you can move forward in your life and begin to create what you want in your life. There's many places and things that you can go to where you can look at it and enjoy. And I think that this 14th of February, it doesn't usually fall on a Wednesday, so I don't really talk about it. But it's finding love and allowing yourself to be, but also remembering the most important person is to love yourself. Self-love is sometimes really difficult to achieve for various reasons, because we're often very self-critical. We also put ourselves down a lot. Now, I'm not saying everybody does this, but on my journey, that was all the things I had to come through. And I see it in a lot of my clients where they're having to learn to love themselves, to become connected, which then takes us into the universal love force, and recognize that you are loved beyond measure by the love force that is there. And that's what the Empress really shows and displays, that this energy, this love energy, which I relate a lot to this planet, is there for everybody to be able to take and be able to work with and be able to enjoy and know where they're heading and where they're going. Because if you do not respect yourself, if you do not love and care for yourself, then you don't usually find that on the outside. And when you love and respect yourself, even if it doesn't come from the outside, it doesn't sort of touch as much. It doesn't come in. Now, it also brings up what is self-loving in a respect, as I find, is also has a lot to do with self-forgiveness. In fact, I'm probably talk more about self-forgiveness than I do about a lot of other things to clients and etc. When we connect and feel the love source. When we have that inside of us, now it doesn't mean you live in it every moment. I certainly don't. It's like you can go there. It's like coming into the central core of you and feeling it and knowing it's always there. And we get into our heads. When we get into our heads, we're going to leave that sensation of being part of it. Even though the love energy, when you pull it through, is in your head, it's not that we live in our heads. We are thinking beings down here, but it's an emotional planet. And that's the conflict that we have all the time, because we want to be mental, but the whole thing around here is to be able to feel and know what it is that you're feeling. So the whole growth process that we go through, and what I think we come to understand, is acceptance of the self, and know that we're not going to be perfect. We all like, and I never had a perfect program, because I was often told what I wasn't. But it's like very often I run into people who have a perfect program. They want to be perfect all the time. They don't like it if they mess up. Nobody likes it if they mess up. I don't like it when I mess up either. And I mess up sometimes, unfortunately. And it's like, that's where, by being connected and understanding how the love force works, you can move into self-forgiveness and forgive yourself, because you're not perfect, or whatever perfection is. You are always the best you can, and therefore you are. In fact, one of my teachers, I remember saying, we are perfect in our imperfections. And I think that's absolutely true. 24/7, 365 days a year to be perfect, that's a lot of pressure. Not say the wrong thing, not act out or do this. I mean, it happens even when you don't want it to happen sometimes. And so it's like, some self-forgiveness is really big in my book, equating it with love. If you love yourself and you're connected to the universal love force that's there, you can and will be able to forgive yourself for your own transgressions. Nobody else may even notice it, but you do, because it takes you out of alignment. When you come out of alignment, you stop beating yourself up in your head because you weren't the way you maybe wanted to be, or you didn't say the words you wanted to say. That is where we need to get back into an alignment. And that's where self-forgiveness comes in relating to the divine, or the love force, the essence that is there all the time, and the bringing forth. So I'm trusting that each one of you who listens to this today, or whenever you do listen to this, is that you're able to love yourselves, that you have other people around you that love you for you, that you recognize that you're able to work with that. But mostly, and most important, is that you also have a knowing and a connection to the love force that's on this planet, and the bringing about of what's happening on this planet, and what it entails, and what it means, and where you are going. So I hope you're wearing red today to represent love, and I hope you have somebody around that you can give a rose to, or whatever, and just an awareness of a thank you, and representing that you appreciate them, because that's really what it is that you appreciate who they are, you appreciate the essence, and you're able to communicate that either through giving something. And I know a lot of cards go out in Valentine's, etc., but it's all about the acknowledgement and the recognition and the awareness to realize you're worthy. Oh boy, it can go on and on and on and on. I'm going to just say, have a great Valentine's Day. Go do what you got to do. Enjoy it. Spread love and joy everywhere you go. This day won't come back for another year, so be at one with it. And I'm just going to say, you have a great day, a great year, loving. So bye for now.